Or whatever it is, wherever you are. Let's see, so we had this running, we had... This might not be for the right period. Oh yeah, we never got this thing to... Was it Arc? No, it had to be server. Never got this to update right, did we? Actually, I think we got this one to update, and it was the other... Now I've forgotten what this period was. Like an 8.3? Maybe being an animation view didn't work right. Oh, we haven't started the web server yet. Because you were still running. That should give us an animation range for these. All right, so things we need to work on. What? Oh, right, because this is probably... We probably didn't even have data when we rendered this, huh? Or maybe at this... No. Right. Am I showing this in it? No, those are actually there. So does this not update? Oh, this is... Does this not update when it's not... When the data loads in? Because I think if we do new objects... If we do delivery truck, we see 12. Oh, but we probably never kicked off an update. Because we were just kind of filling in data here. So that is probably one of the typing things. Object search term. Update object search. Add highlighted objects. Require object search index. If it's not requested. We're already maybe on span data, so what does my initial state of that look like? Actually, it's probably not going to exist. Yeah, you don't exist in the startup. Objects received. When do we assign span data? Select arc. But what's going to happen early on? Span list. Require object search index. If that exists, that's the index. And maybe that would trigger individual objects. When the index gets you the counts. Maybe set time, rebuild worlds, check server loaded. I guess that could affect our timestamp. All right, is this a straight up pipe? So this check server loaded certainly has to be, yeah, your model command. You are model to model command. So that would indeed be add update. And we got 12. Now, one of the things we've got is that this is going to be a different number of hits than this. And right now we only have one object search index. Yeah. So one of the things I was thinking, last week is that my parsers should be more focused on the file formats. Oh, I had tests for this too. I was running all of them. Might be okay, might not. Okay, object ID, object count, line for what? Well, okay, object search index might actually be a thing. It's the other, when we get into the other formats, so it's going to be more specific. Did I have another name for that? Is it a tile index? No, it's not a tile index. I'm not in the branch for this. Yeah, put object search index. It's just ID index. Which, I mean, object search index works for that. We do use the same format for both of them. So that part is actually fine. It is the model where we need to have different names. Let's see, it'll be used in the view to look this up. And then I'm going to have different receivers. And different requirers. I wonder if there's a way I could I generalize that at all? It's just going to fetch a file and update a field. Although maybe the consequences of doing that will then be different. Well, and it would hit a different URL. So actually, the test update didn't matter that much. Okay, simple renaming. Object search index. Oh, because error. So if we did do a translation of this somewhere, then we could get it with bad body, perhaps? If I'm allowed to construct those. Oh, no, actually, we even had to put it into bad body there. So can we do something with that? So that's HTTP expect string. I don't know if I could make an expect. It's a type expect. No, I can't make an expect, but I could have a wrapper around this. So this would be giving expect string. So that's our ultimate message. I might be able to use this for both of them. You're going to be a string to a... You're going to get a string... Or actually, no, do I turn you to a string? No, because all that type stuff is the error type. So there is no like general success type. Wait. Yeah, because it's a result. Result HTTP error or... I just had a type for you, right? And I think that type will hold up for both of them. Okay, so we're going to parse to a result. And I think do I just map error? I guess I could go ahead and map it to data, but that's normally done on the other end. Result.map error to httt.badbody. That ends to string of, actually, yes, we probably could. Just take error. So expect string, there's that entire thing, and then there is U transforming into that. And then when we receive, that falls under this error case. It's not text, it is index. Okay, 1499. Indeed. That may in fact be data. Result HTTP error string. Is that not what you produce? A parser of object search index from a whole data. Oh, no, I was treating this as a tagger. This is a strict... Well, no, because that's the tagger. Oh, maybe expect string does require message format. Yeah, no, you are... Result error string to message. This should put that together. Oh, but we didn't update the type of this. Oop. Nope, 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 nope. And we were saying this had to be data? Maybe. Oh yeah, we've got data.span and everything over there. Is a string to message. Oh, you yourself are a result. And I was looking at that from the parser perspective. Expect string is going to give me its own HTTP error. So I do need a switch off of this. Or is this just a result map? Well, no, it would have to be result and then, because I can still make an error. There is an and then. So So HTTP expect string, it wants a to-message function. This thing natively receives this. If I and it, we do that. That's still a result of error, a result of that type. And Joathas? Something like that. I'm terrible at pronunciation. Thank you. A few too many vowels there for me. So that's on the text. So we have to be... I could even use an inline format, maybe. So parser.run, blah, 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 on text. But that's going to be the wrong error type, so I can't just make this all one streamline. Maybe I could do this that way? Take that, map the error within there to change the error type. Yep, and that works. All right, so we've extracted some of that parsing stuff. So if we were to, I am passing a URL, because maybe I was expecting that, hey, I might want to do this for the other type. You are updating a field in span data, so that would also be in their variable. Object search index received. If I wanted to be able to update an arbitrary field, I'd have to somehow be able to specify which it is. So I don't know if that's... that's going to be worth it. In that case, this would also have to be variable in the message it sends to reuse this bit. Oh, are we currently aware of animation status? I mean, I think we are, but not... I don't know if it's a dedicated variable. Data animated, okay. And then we might have to require object search index every time we change that. So your index URL is part of the model because it's part of the config, so I can't necessarily just curry that in. I could set this up to sort of curry in the response message. What you're going to call that. I guess you kind of are going to be that. And then if we change you to take, what are you going to be? Well, we already said you're going to be a result HTTP error. Object search index to message oh, I didn't change this to key yet. And then you are the tagger for this. Data. Int POSIX. Oh, you need to be. Oh. Can't just short circuit this. Maybe that's an argument for changing argument order. No, because it still needs those fields. Oh. No, that part of the URLs would be the same for both of them. It all just has to pass through, so it's not real currying. Right, so you have this gets server ID and data time, which I don't think I'm actually using right now, but it is what we fetched it for if we want to be doing any differential caching or anything. Now, if I wanted to put those types into our tagger type, we could have it supply the arguments. So convert that to a specialized type. All right, I don't have a message to send from you if I specialize you. All right, there's a new message. It's the operates in the same fields. If this is checking this field, this is all in the maybe span data. And selected server and with default command none. We have the full model. We don't have a field for you yet. I kind of don't need to have both of these at once, but I guess you could imagine flipping back and forth. All right, we added messages for these, but they're still operating on the same data. Require. And is that the name? Yeah, that is the name used for the config field. Oh, nope. Maybe it's not. It is. Okay, so that would fetch different data. We would not do anything with it yet. Yeah, so object stats is going to depend on that. I guess that would actually work to return the function. (2052 events. Wait. Why are we data animated? Oh, because I got it backwards. Did I get my other one backwards too? Because I was just saying if data animated. Yes. Okay, fetch that, display that. Oh, and we actually are triggering off a... Okay, that's a view update. We have no data fetched, so a data animated switch does not trigger an update of that. Toggle animated. That is a model to both. So what kind of do you want this? Oh, we've got from us and from Leaflet. Well, we already know the display would update, so really that is static. We do it, and that does get the count. I'm starting to think I need some sort of like higher level state difference tracking. This is efficient in that it happens exactly where these things change, but then it becomes easy to lose track of where you're changing them. Okay, that is counts for map log data. Wells are another one that might be nice. I mean, I guess springs. Wells, mines. I guess it's oil. Let's see, family trees. Map. So that is display event count for object search in a mode. Oh, guilt. And I realized I have a river filled by water. I'll be back in a bit. And welcome back. Holy cow. Thanks, guys. And welcome back. Holy cow. Where's that coming from? Guys. Oh. Tee-hee. The SCS dev stream was still up. That's where the echo was coming from. Didn't expect.
Maybe we're not going to bed right away. Good job, Pan. Good job.
It's because you're trying to call the read passwords on the list and not each individual object in there. So the list doesn't have the read passwords method, it's actually the objects inside the list. So if you say, for example, readers index 0 dot read passwords, I think that would work. So I think that's your issue there. So just do a for loop in that try and
Whoa. That was a little bit of a close call. Gotta watch those.
Welcome back. So what do we do for jump? I guess it could be a thing, a third tab. So for search, we had the box, and then we had the people, but there wasn't like only multiple locations per person. Oh, right, I actually made this the label so you could toggle the checkbox. So we have to do a little bit of restructuring there. And then this doesn't have a search, so it would be a similar thing to that. And it's going to actually be a variable object depending on this. However, doing detail is going to require having detail information, which actually, I guess, puts us back into parser mode. Maybe. Let's see. So 12 instances for the static of this would actually not be a bad example. There are probably, actually no, for a limited parser example, well, I probably want like a single. So we know a truck is in there, and there's going to be other ones. That's a pretty simple one. I might need to, I'm going to have to do some parse test. Okay, so there's the index parser. Maybe I should actually put support data down below. All right, so we have, this is going to be for the key format, this is going to be, this did have a name. Key value, right, it was log if it was that. Key value XY first. No, actually it's YX. Oh, that's actually, well, I guess it's a special kind of ID then. Hmm. So we've got encoding and a decoding. That's a thing. You do have a reader. We have a current value. I don't think we're doing... It's the decoder. Right, we're doing plus equal, so that is a difference encoder. Y minus last y, x minus xy. Value is not any kind of encoding. Is it not any kind of encoding? Ah, only x's are encoded. Okay. Interesting. I actually don't know why I did. Well, actually, because this might be a separation between things. Yeah, dealing with the spaces between. Okay. X decode x, y plus equal. So we've got differences plus equal decode dx. You're a dx, you're a dy. A value is just going to be an ID, so that's still there. I might have like a value line. What parts would we need to start doing this? And I closed my example. You're something different. Oh, and I've sorted differently? Well, you're more than one. Well, I want it, but it works. So this is like a minimal key value yx first. Actually, this is an interesting question. It does not have a trailing return. So you could really just be a... And then... That still looks like it's probably one. So that's if I get a 2. That's like a 3. That might be a couple in one line. Well, I guess both of those are useful. Okay, so that's two separate line positions. We can come back for examples later. Things we need to be able to do is, I think that we would have like a V-line parser. Unless it's like we recognize the line separator and then we go into a different process from there. Well, shoot, I need another break. What? Oh. Well, I mean, there's worse places to do it. Oh, you impossible idiots. Oh my god, I almost lost the entire colony.
Oh, everybody. Hi, everybody. Girl. I knew Vagine. For the new generation. Hail the Vagine. Free on PC. I think there's something about like there's ways to get to this game, I guess, but you won't be in the game like with this official hoorah. Yes. Hoorah. Many times over. Hoorah.
So, yeah. It's time to set up home so that I can be the best mom ever again. I wish I had desert tiles here though. That's my only problem with this start. Is there desert tiles up here?
Welcome back. So I don't know. What does my current parser look like? We do a one of. If it qualifies as a line, maybe we should have done this one first. But they're going to have different things allowed. So that's with commas, but this isn't doing the alternation. Precise error messages in this package do not backtrack by default. You keep going down it. Or you want the error at Z. If you have backtracking, you might get the error on open bracket. There is a backtrackable subset. It's an integer. Yeah, so this is like a really nice error formatter. I've never done a really nice error formatter as of yet. But it's like we're not doing a compiler or something that's doing those regular error messages. So we know with the first character whether it's a value or not. So I guess we could have a thing like that that's like like an ID line or a value line, which would then be your line, which would then be an object ID, and that's it. And the value output of that would be 1. And maybe in a multi-line thing, I say if we took this branch, then we set our state such and such a way. Or just we update the current value in our state. It would be pretty much impossible. Well, that should just come down to line separators, although this should always have a new line after it. Okay, dead end to string. Oh. Dead end to string, dead ends to string. That's not the most useful part of this. So we have object search index. There's going to be a couple of... This is a specific role. Object ID we can probably reuse. Entry, we might need to get more specific about things like that. Line, step, line. Value line is... Maybe actually more like this. Wait, why did... Oh, because it had to make an entry out of it. Oh, maybe I have to do something like that. For now, you were succeeding with a complicated thing that had 2 values. Succeed identity, I guess. Where was... Looking for a value line. You don't have any of that. Compilation failed. Yeah, there might in fact be a missing comma there. Test. Wait, describe. Oh, the suite is describe. I guess that could be an argument for just a different test file. Uh, we might be able to have well, less full path names. Key value XY first parser. Oh, you should still be test. Was I doing test first or test last? Okay, parser test, that's going to be actually a kind of rename. Two tests. Get move. What? Oh, there's the output file. The directory didn't exist. It's like we're making it, not ducking it not exist. Oh, did I have my, was my test file, in fact, it in fact was specifying this. All right, object search test. And then module name. Key value yx. Left a comma. Can't spell. Apparently I can't spell the name either. Which one is the file? Oh, I'm here. You're XY. What's that's not in Git yet. Okay, and that one passed. Alright, we need to do a thing like this. And for the encode and decode, I just need to remember how I set this up. Oh, you are the same project. Let's see, we only need to deal with decode. And we're just simply not using spaces because we have this to signify things. How am I doing? Detection, regex? Yeah. So this will be letter and following digit. So we're going to have a Y coord and then an encoded X coord. The default parsers might not recognize the break at a letter. Actually, this is going to be dy. Be the delta y. Is going to end up being a line. And we expect that to equal 9. I'm probably going to need more specifiers on this format. But at least the parser itself should probably use a larger form. Oh, and this is an existing thing in the list. So now it should tell me that the function doesn't exist. And I think that this will not work. Oh, I had an object search parser. I don't know. That is going to be the same. Fortunately, they're type compatible. Because we're using object ID. Oh, actually, yeah, that's not a type. That's not typed at all. I mean, maybe you could have a different context for one of them. Not exposed. Or a different problem. So that does work. So it just it does ignore following letters. Let's try something. A little bit more like a full line. I mean, even one would help. That would work there. Okay, that works. So it will have then consumed up to there. So we then have a dx. You're actually a modification of something. No. Do you handle negatives? Because I'm pretty sure I include negatives. Or is that supposed to be a higher level thing in the parser? That is a higher level thing in the parser. So a delta y is, let's see, is there an example of this in the parser? Because that seems like it'd be pretty common. Or maybe it's just supposed to be like token negative. And then something else deals with it. So that's an optional thing. I wonder if that would be a one of. I know chompers were a big thing when I was doing other types of parsers. I've now forgotten what I used them for. Negative is error. The custom parser, like, okay, one of, yep. Oh, this is saying use symbol instead of token. What does this look like in the one I'm actually using? It might just reference me back. Hello. How's it going? Okay, symbol takes a token. In fact, yeah, symbol token. And then I lost my example. Int, or so we have int in there, and we have int down here. Maybe those are... Maybe those are two separate things. Okay, so that passes. Then we have... I guess it's really only positive and negative again. But I have to remember how this encoding went. And I was doing ASCII character encoding because it was the easiest way to handle it in Ruby. So we have already regexed that it is a letter. All right, so 97 is the lowercase, so we're saying capital is negative. So we don't want to do, I mean, We could. Well, we have a number of cases to check here. See, is A 0 or 1? It's probably. Probably 1. So actually, it would be B would be the smallest variable. This is Elm. The comparison code, what I've done for the server-side processing, is in Ruby. I've also done this in JavaScript, but now I want to handle it in the UI portion here. And I guess I could have JavaScript send it over to me. But I've been curious how parsing would work on the Elm side. Positive short DX chord. How about that? Oh, yeah, that's not going to work at all. This is, of course, not going to work at all either. Let's see, so this isn't going to be... this is going to be a symbol up front. All right, and there's all these comments are wrong now. One thing I might want to start doing for some of this stuff is, instead of putting this in all the literal text, in context. And he's using a dedicated type for that. We're just doing strings for now. Checking for negation. I mean, really, this is just expecting an integer. This isn't actually going to exist. There will be, I think there'll be some kind of one of there. Hey, that's the test. In context, encoded delta x. Oh, right. All right, we need to look for characters in a class. Oh. I wonder if a variable parser could look like this. So we've got a start and an inner. Or I could do just a character and... Let's see, would integer be a convenient way to do that? Actually, integer would not be a convenient way to do that because I'd have to figure out what place to put the character at. Yeah, we were modifying it in place. This could be a little bit awkward on Elm's side. Could use that as a recognizer, and then I guess actually changing it will be awkward. If I, let's see, so int actually gives me an integer, so I might have to get into, yeah, so variable is we're not gonna have any reserved words. That might not be the right thing. Int float number. Token. Yeah, not keyword. And it could be an empty set. Yeah, and then map would take care of that. That's for backtracking. It might end up being a kind of loop. And then chomp. Which project would I get for that? You don't have Twitch chat. You shouldn't have Twitch chat. Or did I look it up in my old directory? Something like this. It's a tag parser. See, not equal to semicolon or unknown tag. And we just throw away an equal sign and tag value. So a chomper is just a thing that can take a particular string. So that might be around what we're looking for. Although I could probably bend variable into doing it. And you're just any value that's not equal to blah. Get chomp, oh yeah, get chomp string after doing that. Chomp while, chomp all the way to the end of the input without finding what you need. Put a token in case you chomp all the way to the end of the input without finding what you need. Parser CX. Oh, chomp until string, except you provide a token. Okay. This is for a very particular. This is for a singular string, not if you have multiple things to deal with. I'm taking run out of characters. Get chomp string, but you can map it to a value. Chomp if, and then chomp while. Elmvar. is lower, and then is alpha num. Okay, so that's about what we want. So this might actually not be a one of in this case. This might end up being a map chopped string. Oh, and you're not, I've been copying right object ID. Value kind of is, this is just an int. This is also going to be just an int. Right, succeed nothing. Does say, oh, and the get chomp string is what gets the value. Oh, and these are just chomping, so they're just throwing away. We're not, oh, I guess if this thing got something, then it would be a value. Chomp if, it's a very specific set of characters, actually. Is car a core thing? Is upper, is lower, is alpha, is, I mean, is alpha kind of works, except we actually do care if it's in a range. So I almost need a custom parser for the allowed characters. Or I guess we could fudge it with is alpha to start with, and then worry about that when we get to actually decoding stuff. And then chomp while is lower, is alpha. Really? We have alpha num, but not num. Oh no, is digits. Why is it alpha num and not alpha digit? If call produces parser, cxy needs the right argument to be parser cx ignore. Oh, I was probably not looking at the right example. Now you see, you're a chart a bool function. That's chomp while. No, chomp while. Get chomp string, parser string. No. Advanced. Get chomp string, parser. Just like parser chomp while. Okay, yeah, of unit. Chomp if produces. Maybe we can't be mixing operators. No. These are all the same directions, so they should stack. Except you provide a token. I don't know why the in case you chomp all the way to the end is there. Maybe that's the condition when it happens. Chomp if, chomp while. Get chomped string succeed. Oh, does get chomped string take an argument here? It's a parser to parser pipeline. Wait. Except you provide a problem in case a character. Yes, this is whatever our problem code is. So it is Boolean and... And then chomp while does not provide a problem. Parser string. Yes. Let's just see it be wrong, though. Oh. Yep, so that's actually still a type error. So isn't there like a map chomped string? Map chomp string. To parse, so a string AB. You could implement like this. A string, an A and a B, from a parser of A to a parser of B. Oh, it gives you a... Let's start end, succeed. Oh, get offset, get source. Apply this parser. Oh, elm.comments and get the full comment and all of the names listed in the docs. Okay, so this is the full string, and then this is the names received. And we have the start, we have the names, we have the end, and we have the document source. So apply the parser and also get the string that was behind it. Right, so this is if we can parse something and we also want the entire thing. I want to get the string and then we do some sort of standard mapping operation to it. Oh, we're applying a type. So we're parsing this and then putting it into a type for our tree. So get the chomped string. Normally I like to do my pipelines the other way. This operator precedence might work better for this kind of thing. I might have to do parentheses if I want to go like... Actually, this operator probably has to be used in this format. Get chomped string, map the chomped string. Map. All right, so we are going to get... I think we're going to get a string here. Well, I can't actually run this until we can do something with it. I could map it to 2. So I almost need to apply a second parser to this. Well, no, because I would... It's like I want to separate it, but I kind of want the separate part. What we're saying is digit. Actually... I go ahead and get that as a string, but not as an integer, but just as the numbers. But I get the chomped string, not the chomped value. Oh, so that's what the get chomp map chomped string, and I would just throw away the string? Or if I get these, does that mean we just do chomp? Is a type error now? No. So that means it does just kind of get thrown away. Example, is it 3? I had better luck with chomp while is symbol and sorting which operators which afterwards. Spaces may chomp 0 characters. Succeeds without chomping anything. Oh, maybe I just need this. Well, no, I could have a numbers. It's like an integer, but I don't want to convert it. So that probably is like a 2 get chomped strings. Now chomp. Get chomp string. Yeah, parser of nothing. Parser of nothing. So you do not return a value from this thing itself. So probably this was a pair of nothing. I would actually have to make a little parser for a letter and a little parser for a string of numbers. And then I could do letter numbers. Oh, no, the numbers are up to, or can be 0. Does chomp well have to chomp something? 0 or more characters if they pass the test. 1 character if it passes the test. Well, no matter what, I'm going to have to parse the rest of the string. And have that as a thing. I guess if I just had a chomp while, that would be 0 more digits. So we have a leading letter I don't know if I got context for you. You're going to be a get chomp string. You're going to be a string. Is there a regular parser that, I mean, does this succeed of the, but chomp doesn't return anything? Is there a parser thing, exactly the given string, a parser thing that says, well, variable is start and inner. Like, which works, but it's not actually a variable. Symbol is a string, keyword is a string. Number is very specialized. Yeah. So then you, I mean, really, a function that receives a head and a tail and does something with it, and we parse and trailing digits. Okay, so it's, as a parser it succeeds, or as a recognizer. Well, or it could have recognized nothing. Our example is nothing right now, so I don't even know if I don't even know what like string to int would do with that. String.toInt. That's probably a maybe. Yep, maybe int. So we actually do need a kind of map here because this could fail. No, that's a guaranteed map. And then parse one thing and then parse another thing. We'll have to check on what you just parsed. Int is not suitable because it does not allow leading zeros. Oh. Check zip code if string get chomped string chomp while. Oh, for a singular thing, we don't need all the succeed stuff. That's just something that will eat the characters. And then we need to do something with it. But it can be a succeed or a problem. We do have to get two things. The and then takes a singular value. So we'd have to like turn this into a pair or something. Can I throw a function onto here? Actually, that's going to be the wrong type. So we'd have to throw a function onto here. That's getChomp string. Can we pipeline that? No. Oh, and then we got this thing. Right, you have to be succeed. Okay. Now, was that actually the extent of the ambiguity? Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so now we have head and tail. We have to do our letter translation. Which I guess, in order for that to be correct, we have to make this more exact. We have is upper and is lower. These do correspond to ASCII, it looks like. Well, first we have to recognize. And I guess it's just going to be a giant list. Char is a type. I guess a case could work for this. Let's see, I have to parse it. I almost wish there was a way I could use this to also turn it into the corresponding digit. So it's just going to be a big table. I guess I could also do the digit conversion and check ranges, which is which might be better than exhaustive table performance-wise. A little bit less clear. We're going to have to have a let expression, I think. So we are looking for less than or equal to code, and code less than or equal to, oh. So we never have a leading 0. Yeah, actually, so we don't have to deal with that. So that's a, well, that's the, we've been doing stuff in decimal codes. We can look at 1 to 9 to 73. And then 97. So hex 9, 105. And we can really just return this. I stopped halfway through this, didn't I? No, you're still succeed. Argument is an anonymous function of type parser number. And then needs the argument to be parser CXB. Oh, it's a tuple now, not 2 arguments. I guess I could simplify this a little bit. Well, it'd be two different types. No, actually, oh no, actually A is 1. Because there is no 0. What we could do to kind of, I have to do a let in to debug log. Well, we're going to have to parse tail regardless. Is there already a place to do that? Pair. No, you're just by yourself, you're just a string. I might be able to map that into a parser. No, we want that to be we want that to stay a string. We'd have to map a result to. So I guess I'd want to do is map. Is there a tuple function to map the parts? Pair first, second, map first, map second. But it's inside a parser, so we'd have to do a map and then a tuple dot map first. So we can do that. Then let's see, map both. It's 2 different functions. I don't think there's anything that just gives us the unpacked version, so that actually becomes this, which once they're both strings, actually they are both strings, but once they're both numeric strings, I have to convert the number differently. And before, we would map the character, do the integer conversion, and do that. I would almost have to map to like a triple or some other custom type to catch positive, negative. I could try to do a one of for upper or lower case, and then track the status through there. So your chomp while get chomped string. I guess I could map this here, but if I do that, then I have to track the sign information. I guess I could map it to a dash and then throw a regular thing at it. But actually, even the regular integer parser doesn't do that. So get chomped string. Now you're just the is digit if you're valid. I just keep thinking it's a shame to redo these checks every time. It is going to be a single character, so is there a way to like map and have it fail? Map a single character. Maybe I could do an is alpha and then have it map in a way that fails. Get the string. You're not going to return a string, though. Let's see. So you're not a Boolean. I can leave that around for a little bit. We want to say we convert to code. And we can say if it's in this range, it succeed X. If it's in that range, it succeed Y. Otherwise, it is fail invalid letter. This is an and then because it can fail. If this is a separate function, you got a chomp string and a chomp character. I don't know if there's any way to get a chomped alpha or any way to transform a character. Yeah. So you're actually going to be a string of this, of which we are assuming it is a length 1 string because of how we did it. It's a car from car. Add a character to the beginning of the string. Split a non-empty string into its head and tail. And it's a maybe. Of which we are almost certain has exactly 1 entry. There was a maybe of car string, of which we expect string to be empty. Now we're into subfunctions again. Because at some point there's a thing that takes a I'm running out of names. It just takes a leader character and says if we can do it or not. There's a leader to parser. This is, man. You are a car to a very large parser name. Are you going to be of a string? Could probably have a type for that. I guess we could, if it was a single character, we could cons it back on. If it is, we don't have any other checks that it is a valid character at this point. Is it failed? What's the opposite of succeed? Problem? Problem. I guess I could process this in the context of the other thing and then just... In the process of the pair, if I did the entire thing, then I could do very much like the encode here and just immediately concat it and negate it. Instead of throwing the state around. Alright, this says if it's less than 97, so that's if these guys, that's the negative. To code char int. No. What did we do before? The code of the first letter. Okay, we put these in to sort of record what we were doing. And this has to be succeed. So your maybe map tuple first. And then, I don't know what to call this. So you're decoding the leader. You're like actually decoding the leader. Oh, I was looking for a function I could put in here. But you're an and then of a string. Leading letter. And then head tail. Can I double encode this? Or double decode? And you almost want to be a function. And you are of an int. So string dot cons character string now you see I was gonna not just put a number in here. But the easiest way is to basically turn it into a number and multiply regardless. We're going to have a let anyway, because we have to get a number. Yeah, I might be able to do that. Actually, you know, is this going to be a case? We've got a maybe, or do we transform that? We ultimately have to transform both the base case and the error. If neg, then else n. I could even throw the succeed in there. Or the succeed in here. Okay. Maybe dot with that made it, that changed the type, and then with a default of problem did not decode as integer. We'll have to see what when a problem we have in terms of how useful that is. We did not. We did the doing the. Where did we do the transformation? Simply coded int is from that mess. So actually, we do u over the bleeding letter. No, that's that checker. Oh no, you decode into that, so we don't have to do anything to it. Might need to back up and test some individual parts. Okay, so this does not work nicely. Decoder. The argument is int, but to code. To code, this needs to be from code. Maybe car. Maybe dot map. Oh, I was looking in parser terms. So you're an and then string to parser. Uncons can be a maybe. So just another maybe map. Extract leader. And that maps it to a parser. So that means an encoded value jumped a character and was not at least one character long. -2. That was the wrong answer. 0. That was all kinds of the wrong answer, actually. -1. Okay, so now you see, is this an error in the code or an error in what that coordinate is? I guess the problem with these, I'm just grabbing files. I don't know what the correct answers are. Maybe there is no leading 0. Well, what's 48? Yeah, 48 is 0, so that actually is... So that would mean we'd actually need to go one more to account for that being... Yeah, so that's actually... I almost want to say that's wrong, but... Go to 106. We don't do any ranges. We did regexes on the filter side, so we assume it's in range. So I might need to allow, I'm going to have to do bound checks for our 9s now. So that means that B actually should be 1, but I think capital was supposed to be negative. If neg, then -n, which means this... Oh, I didn't actually change it. Okay, so if... If that's correct... Then you're good. I don't know if I should need to encode 0. There's a boundary condition here of can we encode 9? So we were allowing from hex to 9, which would be I. Eight, 9, yeah. So it should really be, what, J? Which would fall off as an unexpected, unallowed code. So this has to be 4 and 6. All right, so then we've got... you're still positive. Well... Negative, and check the bounds there. Oh, actually, I guess I could encode a 0 as a 0 delta. Oh, no, it's not negative J, it's just J. Or do the negative 9. So really, this would be a valid value. Well, it wouldn't be a valid negative value. All right. That's probably the worst part. However, we've not yet checked longer codes. So, like, well, I don't actually want to think about this right now. Actually, 1, 2 is enough. Okay. So now we need to be able to parse a coordinate line. What does this actually turn into? I guess it should turn into a list of coordinate pairs. And maybe this actually gets a context to turn it into a triple. And that's a negative. You see, I could have. I guess I wanted the easy math. And doing 0 that way would have been those characters. That would be a 7? Oh, no, this is YX, so this should actually decode this way. Let's see. We did line up top. Value line. Coordinate line. However, you are going to be for now. So you expect to be, I'm not dealing with, well, there's no deltas to deal with here. Oh yeah, this is going to be a loop. List singleton? You need a parenthesis. You're a list of a function. Oh, maybe I actually can't thread tuple.pair through like that. So that is a function that wants one argument. No, we're mapping the inside of it now. Okay, I translated my character incorrectly. It was one down, not one up. All right, so this really has to be a loop where we get some context information and then put it into each entry, which is going to be a lot like this. No, you are a step. Where we're going to have multiple lines as well. And I still don't know what my data type here is. They're going to be coordinate line. Coordinate line step. All right, so you are the data type that we're collecting. And our current y coordinate. This is where encoding that type might be useful. And we're returning. Oh. Chord, this is going to be the absolute y over time. Let's see, is this... This is not... Is this not even a one of? I guess we do have to do... Yeah, we do have to do end. We have to do delta y and then the loop? That would give us our initial value here. How do we order that? Succeed identity. I need to be. It needs to be a kind of an and then kind of thing. A delta y and then you only deal with x's. So I guess, I could pass that down to there and get a coordinate out. You don't have spaces. Maybe I should have tried to do this without dealing with the y-coordinate first. So this is going to be... That was a line. You're going to be a dx, though. Oh, so actually I'm going to have x context as well. No, actually, you are a dy, and we have to process you somewhere else. Oop. So actually, you're probably gonna have to get y-coordinate information and return y-coordinate information. Oh, and you were the wrong type. Okay, we mentioned an index. Done with chords. You don't have an argument. Okay, it works for one. I could manufacture an example here. We could just throw a B on there. Because the delta right now, before we've done it properly, that's a 1. Oh, opposite order because of list reversal. Okay. So I could have you take a dx and return the delta value. This was kind of a hairy thing, though. Maybe in somewhere down in here. You could take an argument for the delta or for the base. Actually, you're not going to change y. You're going to be a dy. That's going to have to be with respect to, well, it's going to be a dy out. As far as you're concerned, it's absolute. And then your state has to have a dx. Or a base x, I guess. And then with every loop, we do the chords, and we do x plus dx, which is going to change my test results. Hello, BeginBot. How's it going? We're just trying to wrap our head around some functional parsers here, and it's proving difficult in the format I've made here. What were you working on today? Okay, so that broke it, and I expected that to break it. Let's see, so that should be a +2, so we expect that to be -5, 1, 3, no, it's a -1. 3, 6, 6. Singletons. You're doing some Golang OBS, cool. Oh, list singleton. Yeah, I was using that temporarily in the test because I didn't actually have the structure set up to make an actual list. It was just like, okay, our test sample has one entry. We're going to parse one entry and see if we can get everything else to work. And then we messed up all our coordinates there. Oh, actually, no, I just changed the wrong entry, what I did. All right, so that gets us through the hard part. I think we can do lines now. Now we need, well, we have two line types, and we have multiple instances of this line type. What's our loop structure going to be like? Are we going to have parse multiple lines given this value, or are we just going to have one loop that does one of? I guess we're going to be doing a one of for the two line types anyway. So I might as well just be doing lines. This test is so minimal it doesn't do multiple lines. Value and coordinate line. So this would just be our key value yx first value encoded parser. And I've already kind of got this. Maybe we actually want to start doing values for these. What I haven't decided is, do I want to do like triplets or values? What am I going to want? So we know the files we're parsing here. Well, in this application, they're all one value, but it's the same file format used for multiple value things. So as a general parser, we'd probably want like a tripler, or maybe a better data type at some point. I haven't dealt with individual map locations much. Well, I had people. They were much more complicated though. If we had a record for it, it would be XYID. Which actually probably going to change all of this stuff to then be the record. It's nice to have the parsers just be simple data types so you don't have to deal with who owns the data type. I guess we have the parsers data type. So we'd probably want this to be something like, let's see, so this is going to be a current map placement. Placement of 753 at XY. Oh, there's in the test. Right, but it's... I just had it in the parser. Right. There's all the parser stuff. See, this is simple enough to be a simple constructor. Hey, Rainy. And we want to be able to inspect instances of those. Pluckment. Oh, XY, yeah. Oh, no, that's for data types. The data type is int. Do I have... I do have an actual object ID. And Vrumma! Oh, no. That was Rainy Dash. Rainy, thank you once again for the 5 gift subs. You crazy woman. Yeah, begin bot rated. I think I attempted to raid the other day and like Twitch was broken. So I just kind of said, hey, go over here. Yeah, looks like a pretty high energy bot management stuff going on there. I do have a type for object ID, even though it's just an integer. Okay, yep, I mistyped all of them. Type placement equals... Remember this, Rusty? Oh, it's not a placement. Oh. Do I have multiple things called placement? Oh, you're not an alias, are you? That's for records. Yes. All right. So that'll be for you. Is this thing returning placements? If we give it the context for what ID to stick in there, it can. Placement. Placement. And now the line's getting kind of awkwardly long. Which, of course, it will not return. It's going to be all of our int stuff. So that was coordinate line. So you have a object ID, which goes into, this is too much for a tuple. So we have a coordinates list. So these are going to be reverse placements now. List of placements. We have a ID that we're working with. ID, object ID. We have our current. Is that going to be current X? In that loop, because we're not managing it yet. Actually, coordinate line. That probably is going to be just a Y. I wonder if I end up sharing state with my overall parser. Maybe it will. Of coordinate line, is it? You were a list. So no, what we ultimately want out of here is just this list of placements. We have to give you an initial state, which I guess is an in-place structure. Well, we have the type, the implicit type constructor of a list and an ID, and those things will need to be set apart. Now we can clean up this a little bit. And actually, this is just a nasty signature anyway. No, that thing is just giant. So you're actually... I'm not sure that'll help because that's just going to be the whole thing. Step... You are coordinate line state, and then you are just a list of placements. All right, and you receive the state. So you get reverse search placements, we get the ID. As reverse those. And then we have to do a loop with a new instance of this. Let's see. How much are we changing? We're appending that. We're keeping the ID. I guess we could do a record update. Then again, I think that it's technically more efficient to construct new ones because you're not kind of keeping the tail of the old things. Coordinate line state, not a parenthesis, although actually you probably do need a parenthesis, as we're doing stuff here. The ID, the x plus the dx, and the y. And we got a J somewhere. Nope, it's doing as a meta character. Empty, please. We still have parentheses. Coordinate. You have to be a structure destructure. Int. Oh, the downstream things are still dealing in pairs. No. Oh, something is passing a pair. Loop back. You're trying to fill the placements. Oh, because we're doing a list concat. No. Right, but we're preparing a list. You're still a thing. And we'll put the ID in there. Closing square bracket. So this is messed up parentheses. So we've got our state. Oh, yeah, that. Where do we get off? So we're doing an x plus dx, so that needs to be one thing. We've got our placement, that's all one thing. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, the placement goes on there. And then the reverse placements are the entire list of things. This is probably about what this used to be. And then... Oh, I probably have direct references to... I've been leaving this under the namespace. This one might just alias, though. It's going to be referencing it a lot. No, wait. Test exposing... Yeah, parse is parser. No, that's that parser. Actually, if we just do... Uh-oh, we typoed something here. Coordinate line is a data object ID. Parse key value first. Parser list placement. Run needs it to be a parser. Coordinate line, probably we missed an update. Yes. Oh, nope, because you are... This is a carried function. That was an argument to the parser before. All right, so now we might be able to consider... Oh, but this has to get all changed up. We have a value for this. Okay, don't need you. Does not expose a function. That's going to be our top line for this group. It's going to be a loop probably more similar to this one. It's dealing with top-level lines. And this is where I need to... right, we said that this thing was just a parser of lines, which... That means that this thing can just be you. And I don't currently need to do anything different. Maybe I was thinking of this type of format when I was aliasing that. Object count value line. Do you use the same state? You pretty much use the same state. You were going to be list. This was basically a list of pairs. Just list isn't too bad for a type. Okay, so you're setting up some of the initial state. You're a new thing, aren't you? If I step. So this is just our key value state. So you're going to use this internally. You're also going to need to have a current Y location. So if you're going to be object ID, should I just pass a state to you? And with coordinate line, then... Ooh, do we do global X or per line X? It's a global X, so we do kind of need to maintain that state as well. So that almost takes that entire state, which was not exposed, but we need to expose it to test it. Well, I guess it's an alias to a structure, so you could still construct them. But we need basically all the same information. You need a current X, you need a current Y, you need the current ID. Oh, the list reversal won't work so well. Hey, Athena. Might have to put that off until the top level. So what we're seeing here is that we actually have to change the argument to that because it needs more context information to return correct responses. We can probably have. Okay, so you're context free. Well, there are some things I'm going to need to vary with this to make sure that it is like doing dx and dy properly. I guess you're actually doing the coordinate calculations. Well, no, you don't manage y, but you have to use y. I don't have a constructor out here though. equals empty list. ID equals that. X equals 0. Y equals 0. All right, so you are slightly different in this. And then we'll need to check our delta Y, delta X stuff. So I think we changed the test, but not the code. So instead of object ID as context, you're going to get, and you're going to return a new context as well. And this is eventually going to have to get renamed to a different type of state. You're going to read a DY, and we're going to make a new state. Is this one worth an update? Reverse placements ID XY. ID X Y plus DY. You're already in terms of state. You have a final output that is different, though. So this in the final output done. Is there's a way to break this and alias it, but I've forgotten what that is. Oh, can I do that? I guess not. Yeah, say a curly break. So I still have this somewhere? Well, that's coordinate line. Oh no, your commas. Map done. So we like missed a parenthesis or something here. Yes. Parser context problem coordinate line state. Okay, context problem. So this is a list versus value thing. Oh, right. So the test has to check for that too. Yeah, this is kind of starting to become a internal detail here. Let's see. What we really care about. I mean, it does have to update the state, but I prefer to check the results of that. So parser to run, but this can be a failed thing. This would result map it. That's going to reverse you to This is a coordinate line itself. the body is, but the type annotation is. Says it should be a key value as a parser of, oh, yeah, we left list in here. Okay, so that is passable. Okay, so this is going to start with, well, this is not really coordinate line state. This is key value y-axis first state. And we shouldn't have mentioned that anywhere outside. All right, state is the empty list. I guess we have to start with nothing. So technically that could be a maybe, and that would be an invalid file if it didn't start with it. And then our step, okay, so we fixed this. Its ultimate result, your ultimate result is a list. This is still giant function signature. So this was our state. And step of state, or our result, which is list placement. And I kind of, just like I was in the middle of typing this when I was seeing problems. All right, so this is going to be just like this. All right, so you are going to succeed with a with a something. Of a new ID. And then break line. So reverse placements, new ID, XY. Or, let's see, what do we do? It's a parser of states. Succeed loop. But I have to, yeah, is the thing where I've forgotten that syntax to do both. pattern matching cheat sheet. Equals equals wildcard tuple xy equals there it is. And wasn't there someplace else that we just reconstructed it as is? Yes. And then you are going to be, well, no, this is now where we do list dot reverse placements. So this is just a compile check. Succeed loop. Okay. Second element. Attempting to build a body of coordinate line. Is that an old message? Because we redid the screen. Oh, now we're at the bottom. Type mismatch. Second element is parser context problem state step state is parser context problem step. Do being a parser of that thing matter? All the previous elements in the list, are step of blah, 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 step of key value A. You are state to step, but I'm passing it. Is actually the loop value? Oh. Does coordinate line return it returns a parser of state. Loop takes a state. I mean, we can do this all explicit. No, this is already state. Want to be silly about it. But what this thing parses is the complete state. Oh, but no, this part returns a complete state as the final value. This is declared as parser of states. That's what we need to pass to loop. Second element is state to step state. We want step state. Is it the first element that's wrong? No. You should produce a state, and the loop has to get a state. The second element is state to step state. Now it's not even valid. Oh. We copied a line that wasn't doing anything. Okay, that was the compile check. Actually, I never did some of my context checks here either. We have to expose it. Okay, result type. Result is a list. Parser dead end, a list placement string. Okay, that's the test value. Oh, does this thing have an input value? No, it's result. All right, then we can backtrack. So we just have dedicated tests for this. A coordinate line will only update the x. Let's see, the x we parsed out here is the big nasty thing. No, it's placements. Oh, we actually want the state, don't we? Which is not part of the normal return. Oh, no, because yeah, reverse placements, so we just map out the new x. Coordinate line updates x, and it uses x. So I guess I actually want to be back to results. All right. Oh, and it doesn't update it, but it uses base chords. Okay, so you're good. So now we need a slightly more complicated example. I think I've been using this one. Let's see, so these are all being really small ones. Wait, did I already open this? Actually, these files are not going to have multiple values. I would need to go to, but the same file format as some other things we could look at. This is something though. Multi chord. Actually, and I really have to think about what this turns into. I know what number it turns into. I guess Y is delta encoded. This actually is only 2 vertical placements, isn't it? The first one should be 60, and then is that 267? See, so those are negative. I just always get confused by actual coordinates. Well, B is 1. And then 13, 23, and what should F be? F should be 5. Oh, yeah, because the other one was a 5. Multiple coordinate lines. Result. Okay, this is a syntax error. So is it just this? We took the thing that parsed lines before. Yeah, it's just that. That parsed multi-line documents. Is it that particular line? Oh, actually, the x-coordinate's going to be offset too, isn't it? So that is going to be that plus negative this. Which is annoying. Carry the 1, so 7, 8. 3, 2, 5. But we have a parser error with these multiple lines. So I think my multi-line thing is eating spaces. So it must be the sub-parser that's not allowing that to happen? How do I have you end appropriately? Oh, coordinate line step is looking for unparsed trailing characters. So it just eat or oh, I think that was just a typo on my part, or a math error on my part. So it seems to be the case. All right, and then for multiple values, should we ever need to do that? How small are you? I mean, I guess I could just grab a couple samples. Oh, except the delta encoded lines. Well, for the actual coordinates, delta encoded lines would be off. I guess we don't need actual coordinates. Yeah, I don't know if... I mean, something like this might be a good test. So I guess I don't really care that that's not the exact value. You're going to be a whole bunch of coordinates, aren't you? You know what? All I care about is how we handle two of these. So, 0, 1385. We've lost our actual base coordinate, so they're just going to be, that's y1. And then y0 effectively. And then x, negative 18. And then, so b is plus 1. $17, but that's a B1 now, so that is 11. And then a B is 5. And a C is going to be 2 more. And then you're going to come along at just another plus 1. I probably could have found a way to just get the raw data for some of these. Change to R. Motif bleh. I guess it works. There's still the problem of actually plugging that in so that we can use it. The parser took quite a bit there. Okay, so we changed that. We moved that. We renamed it and then edited the text. And we just had it run all the tests for now. Maybe that could have been a little bit faster if I didn't do that. Well, I guess test is the new thing. Elm key value yx first parser. And then getting that to actually walk us through these points will be a little UI problem once we figure out how to, well, I also have to figure out which files to fetch, get them in, maybe do another tab for walking through results. But I think it's kind of well into lunchtime, and I also have to do. Nope. Wrong scene. Thanks to Rainy for gifting subs. Thanks to BeginBot for bringing a bunch of friends. Let me see if I have anything to recommend. Let's see, so we have JS Game Dev. I'm pretty good looking for code people at this time of day again. That's when I'm usually on. This Monday morning is the usual time. I've been doing some other things here and there. Let's see. That's a whole bunch of stuff. Looks like LiverDev Trying is doing some stuff with. Maybe it's a CL for an admin UI portal or a CLI. I'm not. Probably something interesting. Portal for OAuth server. OAuth server.net, OAuth server ASP.net. All the technologies. If you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and until next time.